The ambush at Proxima Station. The quantum communication array on Proxima Station crackled with static as Director Nadia Chen made her final adjustments. Outside the reinforced viewport, the binary stars of the Centauri system cast an eerie purple glow across the station's gunmetal exterior. This remote outpost, housing just over 5,000 colonists, represented humanity's farthest reach into the stars, a scientific marvel, but also a strategic vulnerability. Signal integrity at 97%, Director called out Lieutenant Marcus Reeves from his monitoring station. Best we've achieved in months. Nadia nodded, her weathered face showing a hint of satisfaction. At 53, she'd spent the last decade overseeing this isolated outpost, watching it grow from a basic research facility into humanity's foremost deep space station. Yet despite its importance, Proxima remained largely unprotected. The Galactic Confederation, the loose alliance of spacefaring species that maintained an uneasy peace across known space, had repeatedly denied Earth's requests for expanded defense capabilities. Humans are too aggressive, they'd said, too unpredictable. And so Proxima Station existed in a precarious balance, scientifically valuable enough to maintain but politically expendable if trouble arose. "We've got an anomaly at the edge of the system," said Kira Yamoto, the station's sensor specialist. Her voice carried the practiced calm of someone trained to handle emergencies, but her fingers moved with unusual speed across the holographic interface. Multiple signatures, definitely not registered transports. Nadia moved to the main observation deck, her heart rate quickening. "Show me." The central display flickered to life, revealing the outer reaches of the system. There, like predators emerging from the darkness, 7 ships materialized. Their hulls were angular and black, absorbing rather than reflecting light, making them appear as voids against the starfield. "Those are Caldorian warships," Marcus whispered, his face draining of color. The Caldorian Empire, a militaristic species known for their territorial expansion and technological superiority. For decades, they had maintained an uneasy truce with humanity, neither friendly nor openly hostile. Until now. "This can't be a coincidence," Nadia said, her mind racing. "Not with the quantum array finally operational." The quantum communication technology they'd been developing would revolutionize interstellar communication, reducing transmission delays from months to seconds across vast distances. It would give humanity an edge in the galactic community, an edge the Caldorians apparently didn't want them to have. "They're powering weapons systems," Kira reported, her voice finally betraying fear. "Targeting solutions being calculated for the station." Nadia's decision was immediate. Sound general evacuation. Get everyone to the emergency shelters and escape pods. She turned to her communications officer. "Send distress signals on all channels to Earth and any Confederation vessels in range." "Ma'am," the officer replied hesitantly, "the nearest Confederation patrol is 3 weeks away at maximum FTL. Earth is 4 months by conventional drives." "I know the math, Lieutenant." Nadia's voice was steel. "Send it anyway." As the evacuation alarms blared throughout the station, Nadia strode to a secure terminal, her hand sweeping across the biometric scanner. The computer recognized her immediately. "Deri C2RCHEN, Nidadia. Command authorization accepted. Computer, initiate protocol sentinel." The system paused, as if considering the gravity of the command. "Protocol sentinel requires confirmation of imminent existential threat to human outpost. Please confirm." On the main screen, the Caldorian vessels had arranged themselves in attack formation. The lead ship fired a warning shot, a precision beam that lanced just past the station's main habitation ring, close enough to make the entire structure shudder. "Threat confirmed," Nadia said grimly. "Authorization code: Thermopyle, Delta 79. Protocol sentinel activated. Omega signal transmission. ingenuity. Few people in the Confederation knew about Protocol Sentinel, a last resort measure implemented after centuries of humanity being treated as second-class citizens in galactic politics. The Omega signal wasn't directed at the Confederation or even Earth's known defense forces. It reached further, deeper, to something the galaxy at large had never seen. As the first substantial barrage hit Proxima Station, tearing through the outer research modules, Nadia gripped the command console and whispered to herself, "Now we'll see if the stories are true." Admiral Cassandra Vega stood on the bridge of the EDF Nemesis, the massive view screen before her displaying nothing but the darkness of deep space and the faint pinpricks of distant stars. At 57, with steel-gray hair and eyes that reflected decades of classified operations, she commanded not just the Nemesis but Earth's entire Phantom Fleet. 27 warships of unprecedented technological advancement, hidden from the Confederation, from Earth's general population, and from the prying eyes of species like the Caldorians. For 15 years, the Phantom Fleet had remained in a state of hibernation, patrolling the shadows of uncharted systems, conducting drills and advancing their technology, while awaiting the call they hoped would never come. Lieutenant Commander Jackson approached her, his expression grave. "Admiral, we've received an Omega signal from Proxima Station. Authentication checks out." The bridge fell silent. The Omega signal, the final cry for help when all other options were exhausted. "Source?" Cassandra asked, though she already suspected the answer. "Proxima Station, ma'am. Director Chen activated Protocol Sentinel 19 minutes ago. The station is under attack by what appears to be a Caldorian strike force." Cassandra's jaw tightened. The Caldorians had finally made their move, not against Earth directly, but against its most vulnerable outreach into the stars. A calculated attack designed to test Earth's response capabilities while destroying a technological advantage that threatened Caldorian dominance. "What's their distress protocol saying?" she asked. "That's just it, Admiral. They don't expect help. The message explicitly states that the Confederation has made it clear no assistance will arrive in time. They're evacuating to the emergency bunkers and hoping for a miracle." Cassandra allowed herself a cold smile. "Then it's time they got one. Alert all vessels in the Phantom Fleet. Initiate jump sequences to Proxima Centauri. Combat Readiness Alpha." Throughout the hidden fleet, sirens blared as crew members raced to battle stations. The Nemesis itself, a kilometer-long dreadnought with capabilities that would make even the most advanced Confederation ships seem primitive, hummed with power as its quantum drive spooled up. Deep in the vessel's tactical center, weapon systems that had never been deployed in actual combat were brought online. Gravitational disruptors, phase cannons, and antimatter torpedoes that could reduce a capital ship to its component atoms in seconds. Cassandra addressed the fleet through the command channel. "This is Admiral Vega to all Phantom Fleet vessels. For 15 years, we have trained for this day, the day when humanity would need to stand alone against those who see us as weak, as expendable. The Caldorians have attacked Proxima Station, believing that no help will come, that humanity will once again bow to superior force." She paused, her eyes hardening as she watched the jump coordinates lock in. "They are about to learn how wrong they are. Execute jump sequence on my mark. 3, 2, 1. Mark." Space itself seemed to fold around the Phantom Fleet as 27 warships, led by the imposing silhouette of the Nemesis, disappeared from their hidden sanctuary, only to reappear moments later at the edge of the Proxima Centauri system, where 7 Caldorian vessels continued their methodical destruction of humanity's farthest outpost. The element of surprise would be total. The Caldorians, like the rest of the Confederation, had no knowledge of Earth's secret fleet or the quantum jump technology that allowed them to cross vast distances instantaneously. They had calculated their attack based on known response times, weeks or months, not minutes. As the Phantom Fleet emerged from the quantum jump, Cassandra gave her final order before the battle began. "All ships, weapons free." Show them why Earth is not to be underestimated. When Earth strikes back, the Caldorian commander, High Marshal Tyvek, watched with satisfaction as another section of the human station crumbled under precision fire. His bridge crew worked efficiently, targeting key structural points while avoiding complete destruction. After all, they wanted the quantum communication technology intact. Pathetic, his executive officer, Sub-Marshal Krell, remarked. The humans don't even have basic planetary defense systems. The Confederation was right to deny them. Tyvek nodded in agreement. Their technology advances too quickly for their wisdom. Better we secure this innovation now than allow them to destabilize established protocols. He gestured to the tactical display. Prepare boarding parties. We'll need specialists to extract the quantum array components. A junior officer suddenly stiffened at her monitoring station. Marshal, I'm detecting anomalies at the system edge. Energy signatures unlike anything in our database. Tyvek frowned. Clarify. Sir, it appears to be ships. 27 vessels just appeared. They didn't use standard FTL drives. There was no approach vector. They simply materialized. Before Tyvek could respond, his tactical officer called out in alarm. Unknown vessels are powering weapon systems. Energy readings are off the scale. The main view screen shifted to show the approaching fleet. Tyvek's blood ran cold. The ships were unmistakably human in design, but unlike anything the Caldorian intelligence had ever reported. Sleek, predatory vessels with hull configurations that suggested capabilities far beyond known human technology. And at their center, a behemoth that dwarfed even the Caldorian flagship. Impossible, Krell whispered. The humans don't have this kind of fleet. This violates all Confederation treaties. Incoming transmission, the communications officer announced, her voice wavering. The view screen flickered, and the image of Admiral Cassandra Vega appeared. Her expression was carved from stone, her eyes reflecting the cold void of space itself. Caldorian vessels, this is Admiral Cassandra Vega of the Earth Defense Force Phantom Fleet. You have attacked a human outpost without provocation or declaration of war. You have 1 minute to power down your weapons and withdraw from this system, or we will respond with lethal force. Tyvek recovered from his shock quickly, millennia of Caldorian military tradition steeling his resolve. This is High Marshal Tyvek of the Caldorian Imperial Fleet. Your presence violates multiple Confederation treaties. The human outpost was developing restricted technologies without oversight. We are acting under Confederation security protocols. Admiral Vega's expression didn't change. The Confederation abandoned us to die, Marshal. They denied us the right to defend ourselves, then looked away when predators came. But humanity has never relied solely on the protection of others. She leaned forward slightly. Your intelligence is outdated. Your tactical position is compromised. And your 1 minute is up. The transmission cut off. Tyvek opened his mouth to order evasive maneuvers, but it was already too late. The Phantom Fleet moved with coordinated precision that spoke of years of training. 3 Caldorian vessels were immediately enveloped in shimmering fields of distorted space, gravitational weapons that compressed and twisted the very fabric of reality around their targets. Metal screamed as hulls buckled under forces they were never designed to withstand. The Nemesis itself targeted the Caldorian flagship, firing what appeared to be conventional energy weapons, but which passed through the Caldorian shields as if they didn't exist. Tyvek watched in horror as sections of his fleet's finest warships simply vanished, atomized by technology he couldn't comprehend. Return fire, he ordered, but the Caldorian weapons seemed to find only empty space where human ships should have been, their targeting computers unable to lock onto vessels using some form of advanced phase-shifting technology. Inside Proxima Station, Director Nadia Chen and her remaining crew watched in awe as the battle unfolded. What had been a one-sided slaughter had transformed into something else entirely, a demonstration of military power beyond anything they had imagined Earth possessed. Who are they? Lieutenant Reeves asked, his face illuminated by the flashes of battle visible through the viewport. "Our insurance policy," Nadia replied quietly. "After the Arcturan massacre 20 years ago, when the Confederation stood by and watched a human colony die, Earth's leadership made a decision. If no one would protect us, we would protect ourselves, no matter what the Confederation allowed." Within minutes, it was clear the battle was over before it had truly begun. 5 of the 7 Caldorian vessels had been destroyed or disabled. Tyvek's flagship and 1 remaining cruiser found themselves surrounded, their weapon systems offline, their engines dead in space. Admiral Vega's face appeared on the Caldorian viewscreen once more. "Marshal Tyvek, your remaining vessels are at our mercy. I offer you one chance. Surrender and prepare to be boarded, or join your comrades in oblivion." Tyvek, a veteran of dozens of campaigns, recognized defeat when he saw it. "We surrender, Admiral. Wise decision. Prepare to receive boarding parties." As the human special forces secured the Caldorian vessels, Admiral Vega turned her attention to Proxima Station. "Director Chen, this is Admiral Vega of the Phantom Fleet. What is your status?" Nadia's voice came through, strained but steady. "Admiral, we have multiple hull breaches and significant casualties, but our core systems remain operational. Your arrival was timely. Repair teams are inbound. The Caldorians have been neutralized." "Admiral," Nadia hesitated, "the Confederation will be dealt with," Cassandra finished. "For too long, humanity has accepted second-class status in galactic affairs. We've allowed ourselves to be vulnerable, following rules that others exploit. That ends today." Within hours, emergency repairs on Proxima Station were underway. The surviving Caldorians, including High Marshal Tyvek, were detained in the Nemesis brig while Earth's leadership was briefed on the situation. In the station's partially repaired command center, Admiral Vega met with Director Chen face-to-face. "You were always the contingency plan," Nadia realized. "The final option if diplomacy failed." Cassandra nodded. "Earth has played the diplomatic game for generations. We've been peaceful, cooperative, and it's been interpreted as weakness. The Phantom Fleet represents a different approach. Peace through strength. The Confederation won't stand for this," Nadia warned. "When they learn of a hidden fleet of this capability—" "They already know," Cassandra interrupted. "As we speak, elements of the Phantom Fleet are revealing themselves in key systems throughout Confederation space, not attacking, simply existing, making their presence known." She activated a holographic display showing more vessels like the Nemesis appearing near critical Confederation installations, diplomatic centers, and trade hubs. "The balance of power is being recalibrated, Director. No longer will humanity ask permission to defend itself. No longer will our outposts be seen as easy targets." Outside, through the viewport, the Phantom Fleet hung in formation around Proxima Station, silent guardians where none had existed before. The quantum communication array, still intact despite the Caldorian attack, was already transmitting the news throughout human space. Humanity was no longer alone on the frontier. In his detention cell aboard the Nemesis, High Marshal Tyvek contemplated the implications of what he had witnessed. The Caldorian Empire had miscalculated catastrophically, assuming they understood the full extent of human capability. They had based their strategy on official reports, on what the humans showed the galaxy, not on what they had kept hidden. As medical staff treated his injuries, he found himself wondering how many other species in the Confederation had similar secrets, and whether the careful balance of power that had defined galactic politics for centuries would survive the revelation of humanity's hidden strength. On the bridge of the Nemesis, Admiral Cassandra Vega watched as reports flooded in from across Confederation space. Confusion, alarm, diplomatic outrage, and beneath it all, a new undercurrent of respect. "Send a message to Earth Command," she instructed her communications officer. "Proxima Station secure. Phase 1 of Operation Revelation complete. The galaxy now understands. They may have laughed at Earth before, but they won't be laughing anymore. And throughout human space, as news of the Phantom Fleet's existence spread, a sense of pride and security blossomed that had been absent for generations. Humanity had finally shown the galaxy that underestimating them was not just a mistake, it was potentially fatal. For the first time since joining the galactic community, humanity stood tall among the stars, not as supplicants begging for protection, but as equals demanding respect. The message was clear. Those who thought no one would come to humanity's aid had failed to realize that humanity had never needed saviors. They had simply been waiting for the right moment to save themselves.